the summer of 2014, the state system upgraded D2L to version 10.3. In this version, there are a few modifications that have changed that you should be aware of for the upcoming year. The navigation hasn't changed too much in D2L, but what has changed is how you impersonate a student. The easiest way to impersonate a student now is to click on your username and say View as Student. When you click View as Student, you will now see the entire class that you are teaching from the student's perspective. To switch back out of a student, you just click on your name and then click on the X, exiting the View as Student view. Another thing that has changed is our table of contents. Now when you go to table of contents, it only shows those topics that are at the top of the level. When you click on the topic, you'll see what's underneath it. So if I click on Getting Started, I'll see everything underneath there. No longer does the table of contents expand. Please note that you can see how many files are in each module or unit that you might be teaching in your class. Finally, each class now has an overview section. This overview section is a great place to put any information about what you will be covering in that class. One of the things that has changed in the content area is how you can move files within a content module. For instance, in this particular module called Essay Information, I can move my cursor over to this section that changes it to a navigation point. So all I have to do is move my file up and down quickly and easily. Of course, you can always input new files by just quickly dragging those files over to your content area. No longer do you have to upload that content. You can see that it'll just automatically update. Another feature that's changed in the editing mode is how we edit particular files. Notice here, if you click on the triangle on the right, you can click Edit Properties in Place. Now you can add dates and descriptions, you can add a description, you can tell if it's required. No longer do you have to go to the restriction area to edit any of these files. Again, making it a little bit easier for you to be able to edit a file in D2L. Another great feature of the new version is you can, when you're creating a file, you have all of the same tools at the top of the area. Now, you can also easily edit and insert a quick link to any of the different parts of D2L. So let's say you have a survey or a quiz, Dropbox, discussion. You can embed these within the content area. Another useful part of the new D2L is that if you go in and you edit a particular document that you created in D2L, so in this case I'm editing the HTML, I can go in here, add some new information, and then at the bottom of the page I can notify students that the content has changed. Please check the new information. This will send students an email and a notification saying that, hey, I've changed this particular file, you should now take a look at that. So just click update and the student will be automatically notified. One minor aspect of D2L that's changed in quizzes is that when you create a new quiz, no longer do we have a tab for adding and editing questions. Now you can add and edit the questions from the Property tab after you give it a name. Another feature that's changed slightly in graded items is the Dropbox. Now, when you edit a folder or create a new folder for Dropbox submissions, you can go over to the restrictions and actually give that Dropbox a due date as well as an end date and a start date. Previously, you were only able to give it a start date and an end date. So this is a way to communicate with students when that particular Dropbox or assignment is due. Another nice feature of the Dropbox is that you can go into the Dropbox and now you can evaluate your submissions. But previously you were not able to evaluate those users that did not submit anything. So you can easily email those users without a submissions right here. That will then pop up an email and anyone who hasn't submitted can be notified. The last thing that has changed in D2L is under graded items you have a user progress feature. Now I don't have anything entered in here, but when I click on that, if you had students in your class, you would see how many content items they've viewed, if they've completed the objectives, how often they've logged in, and their grades. So this is a really nice way to get a snapshot of each of your students in your class. Well, I hope you enjoyed this update to 10.3 and that D2L meets all of your needs for the coming semester.